I've been holding off this topic long enough. I think we've had enough Truck Series races in 2023 to pretty much gauge where Hailie Deegan is at in her development. We have covered her career for every year of this channel's existence. We have seen the highs and the lows, and recently the lows have been more consistent. Her rise through NASCAR's development series has been well documented. She was being pushed as one of NASCAR's rising stars, and at first the stats were backing it up. 3 wins in the 2 seasons she ran in the series really gave NASCAR fans cause to be excited, and then the next announcement that she would be leaving Toyota Racing Development for Ford Performance. This was viewed as a major positive at the time because she would be more of a priority driver. In her only full-time ARCA season, she steadily progressed and eventually finished 3rd in the standings. That same year, she made her Truck Series debut where she finished a solid 16th. 2021 would mark the beginning of a new era. For the next 2 seasons, she would drive full-time in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series for DGR Crosley. With all the hype she had entering the Truck Series full-time, to put it mildly, her performances for those 2 seasons were underwhelming. At times, you couldn't help but feel sorry for her. There were times she would get completely dumped and ran over, but on the other hand, if she was running more towards the front, she wouldn't be in those situations. In those 2 seasons combined, Deegan scored a total of 3 top 10s, with the best points finish of 17th in 2021, with a combined average finish of 21.5. After 2022, DGR Crosley switched to Toyota, but one of the best teams in the Truck Series was about to return to Ford. ThorSport Racing has been in the Truck Series for decades and has won multiple championships along the way. This was viewed as the perfect landing spot for Hailie Deegan to finally run up front consistently. With a veteran driver lineup and a former championship crew chief to work with, it felt like there were no more excuses for Hailie Deegan entering the 2023 season. She was expected to not only perform better, but finally make the Truck Series playoffs. Then they started racing, and in the first race of the season, she was involved in the big one. That has pretty much set the tone for most of the year. She qualified a career best 5th at Las Vegas, but quickly fell to the back and of course, got caught up in some problems. She did end up scoring her first top 10 for ThorSport at Texas, but outside of that, the rest of the season thus far has been an absolute disaster.
Wow, that's really
obviously going to be a great view from our on-track reporter, Daniel Dye, as usual. Looks like maybe, is that Johnny Sauter? Maybe the white truck gets to the inside of Hailie and they make a little bit of contact. What a job that Jake Garcia did as well as Daniel Dye.
And there is the 13 of Hailie Deegan.
She's had quite a bit of damage on that right side today.
Here we go into turn number 1.
She just didn't look like she didn't try to make the turn.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Platoon.
Yeah, it looked like Nick Sanchez got into the back of Hailie. Right there was just a little bit of touch on the right rear corner, it looked like.
Yeah, that totally avoidable. I don't know if she didn't drive in as far as he thought she might, but you can't just run over someone.
Wow, Nick
Watch this hit
Sanchez.
here.
That's just
All 4 tires up off the ground. It's a 45 of Lawless Allen. He had a bit of a moment over in 1 and 2.
Speaking of which, 13, Hailie Deegan. Jack Wood around the outside in the 51. He has contact. Caution is out. First time tonight at lap 5.
I mean, I don't think there's much to say. She's talentless and just sailed it off in there and wrecked me. Like, it's lap, 3? And you're already sailing it in there. Like, I just don't understand what the move was about. It's not the first time she's wrecked me. She does it to fucking everybody, so.
Look, Lawless Allen has every right to be pissed off, but as far as talking about talent, respectfully, you are the last driver that needs to say that. And also, their run-ins don't date back to just the Truck Series. It dates all the way back to when they raced with each other in late models. But anyways, Hailie Deegan's performance in the Truck Series so far has been absolutely horrid. Just 1 top 10 with an average finish of 21.5, 3 DNFs, and currently sits 18th in the standings. At this point in the video, some of y'all are probably thinking, Darian, you forgot something. Don't worry, I didn't. I was saving it for this part of the video so for a reason. Towards the end of the 2022 season, Hailie Deegan made her NASCAR Xfinity Series debut at Las Vegas. In her Xfinity Series debut for Bobby Daughter, she ended up with a 13th place finish. That was the best finish ever by a woman in their Xfinity Series debut. And ever since, most fans, including myself, wanted her to move up to the NASCAR Xfinity Series immediately. Of course it didn't happen, and now she's spending a third season in the Craftsman Truck Series performing terribly. The Hailie Deegan hype train has officially died down, and now surrounding her career is a ton of questions. Is she trending towards the path of a NASCAR bust? Is the Craftsman Truck Series just not a good one in terms of developing young drivers? And is moving her up to the Xfinity Series the answer for her performance woes? Recently, me and Eric Estep debated this topic on the NASCAR Weekly podcast.
Eric, I'll start with you on this one. Is Hailie Deegan, at the moment, a NASCAR bust?
No, because once you bust, you can't come back from that. And I don't think until Deegan is basically out of the sport or is riding around in like a BK racing style ride, I don't think you can confidently say she's a bust. She's obviously underwhelmed, and you just kind of rattle off her stats. Year to year, she has not improved whatsoever. She's only 21 years old. I mean, we keep that in mind as well. Until she's like just out of the sport, I can't call her a bust. She's trending that direction right now, no doubt. But, you know, she did make one Xfinity start last year and ran really well.
And what kills this whole argument about, oh, it's the truck series, oh, you know, she's young, it's a lot different. Okay, I get that. And I've had conversations with Ryan Vargas about, you know, the truck series and Xfinity series, like the way you drive them are extremely different. But here's what kills that argument for me nowadays. Corey Heim, Carson Hocevar, you know, Zane Smith, and the list goes on and on and on of young drivers who are currently thriving in the truck series, you know, whether it's part-time or full-time. And that's where I currently stand at the moment. I understand the truck series may not be for everybody. I feel like the best example of this was Harrison Burton. He didn't perform really well, and then once he got to the Xfinity series, started winning multiple races. But for Hailie Deegan to be this far off in terms of pace and points relative to her teammates while driving for one of the best teams in the series just can't be ignored. Like Eric said, she's only 21, there's still plenty of time, but right now we can't ignore the fact that she's definitely trending towards that NASCAR bust label. Based on the hype and the performance we've seen thus far, you can't say it's not trending that way. The only way to change this narrative is performing better in her remaining races this season, or if she ever gets to the Xfinity series, she has to perform well right away. At the end of the day, I think if you were to poll most NASCAR fans, they want to see Hailie Deegan succeed. We'll see where this goes, but let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think Hailie Deegan is trending towards a NASCAR bust, or are you waiting to see how she performs in the Xfinity series? And once again, that'll do it for another video. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Black Flags Matter. Catch you next time.